stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, my fellow trudgers. Happy Thursday. I hope that you are having a good day. I'm in Colorado, so we are a little snowed in at the moment. Doesn't change my day. That's why I made, this is one reason why I made our groups hybrid, so that we could still have our groups, even if something like this was to happen. If we can't get to the church because of weather or something, we can still all meet. Yeah. Why not use this? Why not utilize what we can in order to spread the message, to bring hope and fellowship? Hi, Michelle. Hi, Patricia. It is good to see you both. It's good to see you both. I'm having a decent hair day, so I'm happy. Ooh, I woke up this morning calling bullshit. I just have to say this just real quick. I'm not going to go into it. I hate it when people try and bullshit me. It drives me freaking batty. All right. Because I know. As soon as your mouth starts moving, I know. Okay? Please, it drives me crazy. Now, I give a lot of leeway because I understand something. That it isn't that people are lying, it's that they don't know how to be honest. Okay? I can trust the fact that somebody's going to blow smoke up my ass during the day, at some point during the day. I already know this. But what happens when as soon as I wake up, I have a problem for it. We're talking about humility today. So let's switch gears a little bit. I'm going to be reading step 6. Step 6. The reason I'm going to read step 6 is because we practice these principles in all of our affairs. And step 6 is willingness. Step 7 is humility. So we're going to talk on step 7. I was incorrect. So we're going to talk on step 7. A lot of people are like, no, I don't want to hear about step 7. That's great. You don't have to. Step 7. Oh, I didn't do introductions. Let's do introductions. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm going to be your host. Tomorrow we're going to have a special podcast, which I'm really looking forward to. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I'm going to be sitting down with my cohort in crime, Amber, and we're going to talk about 5 suggestions for recovery. She has not given me these 5 suggestions yet. I don't know what they are, but we will find out tomorrow, won't we? We're going to do this one live. It is not a story, so we will be on camera. Okay. When it comes to the stories, when people tell their stories, I do not use the camera for very, very good reasons. You will not get the same story. Let's talk about humility. Step 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. Humbly means we're just asking. God, yep, I got these. Can you help me with them? Okay. Since this step specifically concerns itself with humility, we should pause here to consider what humility is and what the practice of it can mean to us. Now, this did come from something earlier. Most of my topics do. I didn't even look at the daily reflection today. Okay. Sometimes I have funny things that run through my head and I put them out. And what I said today was this: naming, what did I say? Okay. And people are understanding it. Naming a foundation after yourself is the adult version of look how high I can jump. Okay. What am I saying? What am I saying? That there's no humility there. That is what I'm saying. Is any of this stuff named after Dion? Is this called the Dion podcast? Nope. It is called Raw Recovery. And the podcast is the person speaking. I am the host. That's it. I take no other credit, but I can take credit for being the host. Why? Because I did it. I can do that. Did I write the song? Nope. Okay. It's kind of like this too. Here's humility too. And it doesn't seem like it, but it is. Okay. When we say things like this company or this person got me sober, bullshit. You cannot get anybody sober. Let's give credit where credit is due. You and God. You and God. That's where the credit belongs for your sobriety. You did the frickin' work. Claim your spiritual progress. Good job, and move on. God will determine your worth from that. I don't try. I'm very bad at that. I try and let God determine my worth, but every day I try and take it back. Every day. Indeed, the attainment of greater humility is a greater foundation, is the foundation principle of each of AA's 12 steps. For without some degree of humility, no alcoholic can stay sober at all. It's true. Nearly all AAs have found too that unless they develop this precious quality, and it is, it's a precious quality. What does precious mean? Beyond, it means there you cannot put a monetary amount on it. That's what it means. Without it, they cannot live too much useful purpose, or in adversity, to be able to summon the faith to meet that can meet any emergency. Right. That's what my humility is. Okay. Now, this is not humiliation. Humility is the opposite of humiliation. Humility is strength. Humility is courage. Humility is walking through something, knowing it's going to be all right, even though you haven't done it before. Okay? Faith without works is dead equals humility. Humility. Humility as a word and as an idea has a very bad time of it in our world. It's true. Because we take humility for humiliation. Not only is the idea misunderstood, the word itself is often intensely disliked. Many people haven't even a nodding acquaintance with humility as a way of life. What's some other thing? What are some other words we don't like? Structure. Oh, we don't like, did you say structure? Alcoholic structure? No. Conformity. Oh, no, I'm not going to conform. In fact, I'm the kind of person where if everybody likes something, I'll dislike it just to be a dick. Game of Thrones. Never watched it. Just not interested. I was trying to come up with one, but there really is. Yeah, and I'll give you an idea of what I'm like. Okay. I have listened to about 12 seconds of a Taylor Swift song. That's it. No, thank you. But I think she's a fantastic person. I do. I think she's a great person. I don't have to like your music to like you. Right? I don't like Jelly Roll, but I like some of his music. I have these options today. You bet. So much of everyday talk we hear and a great deal of what we read highlights man's pride in his own achievements. Look what I did today. I got new shoes. Look how nice I can run. Right? That's me. Right? I love being the center of attention. I'll fucking admit it. I don't mind. I love being the center of attention. And all eyes are on me. Oh, man. Oh, God. Yeah. Love it. That's why when it's zero here, I have a harder time. I need people to do this. What am I doing? I'm being humble, man. I'm being humble. It's okay. With great intelligence, men of science have been forcing nature to disclose her secrets when we should just come into agreement with them. You will actually find out more when you go with the flow instead of forcing. The immense resources now being harnessed promise such a quantity of material blessings that many have come to believe that a man-made millennium lies just ahead. Poverty will disappear, and there will be such abundance that everybody can have all the security and personal satisfactions he desires. Never going to happen. That will not happen. Okay? Not in my lifetime. Not in my lifetime. The theory seems to be that once everybody's primary instincts are satisfied, there won't be much left to quarrel about. That's not true either. We will argue about a napkin in the road. You bet. No, it's yellow. No, it's white. It's fucking yellow. Yeah. We'll find something to fight about. Why? Because we love drama. Alcoholics love drama. The world will then turn happy and free to concentrate on culture and character. Solely by their intelligence and labor, men will have shaped their own destiny. Certainly no alcoholic and surely no member of AA wants to depreciate material achievement. I think it's great. You live in a big home and all this stuff. That's fine. I don't want to live in a mansion. I don't. I would much rather... I'm going to tell you something. I would much rather live in a pod. There's less to clean. I don't need all that room. If somebody gave me a mansion, I would fill it with alcoholics. That's what I would do. I'd say, you stay on that side of the fucking house and leave me alone, but I would probably fill it with people. It's just how I am. I've got room and there's people out there that need. Right? Nor do we enter into debate with many who still so patiently cling to believe that to satisfy our basic natural desires is the main object of life. But we are sure that no class of people in the world ever made a worse mess of trying to live by this formula than alcoholics. And that's because we're extremists. That's why. For thousands of years, we've been demanding more than our share of security, prestige, and romance. When we seemed to be succeeding, we drank to dream still greater dreams. When we were frustrated, even apart, we drank for oblivion. Never was there enough of what we thought we wanted. And there's the problem. See, being an alcoholic, I also have what's called an addictive personality. And there's never enough. When it came to alcohol, my brain was always, that's not enough. It's not enough, Dion. You know, I'd have 3 full handles sitting there. It's not enough. That's what my brain was telling me. Okay. Now this got coupled with some trauma. Okay. I grew up in the system and there's a couple of things. You shower fast. Okay. There are times when I still go to look for my shower shoes. It happens. Okay. And you eat fast. Okay. So I had to learn when I got out of group homes that there was enough food. I would hoard food. Wouldn't eat it. but I would hoard it. Okay. And I did that in my early 20s. And I noticed, I'm like, why do I have all this freaking food? I don't eat any of this. And I figured it out. Too much. All right. Now, look at this room. It is simple. You walk in here and it's just simple. That's how I like it. All right. Okay. So anyway, now I'm off on a tour now. In all these strivings, so many of them well-intentioned, our crippling handicap had been our lack of humility. We had lacked the perspective to see that character building and spiritual values had to come first, and that material satisfactions were not the purpose of living. Quite characteristically, we had gone all out in confusing the ends with the means. Instead of regarding the satisfactions of our material progress desires as the means by which we could live and function as human beings, we had taken these satisfactions to be the final end and aim of life. Keeping up with the Joneses. Whoever dies with the most stuff wins. Okay? Sometimes we grow up in homes where we didn't get any. So then we will feel like it's never enough. And that's not just alcoholics. That's most people in the world. True, most of us thought good character was desirable. Sure we did. But we didn't build upon it. But obviously good character was something we needed to get on with business of being self-satisfied. Look what I did. Or good job, 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 good job. Me. See what I did? Me. I know. It's tough. I'm going to tell you why it's tough. Because we're never given fucking credit. We've been nothing but put down all of our freaking lives. And now we're the ones that have to turn around and do the right thing, even though these assholes begged us to do it and they will not do it themselves. Such is the life of an alcoholic. It doesn't feel fair. Well, guess what? It isn't. It isn't fair. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Find out what happens. If you don't like it, take it back. Take your life back. Go back to the way that you were living then. Okay? With a proper display of honesty and morality, we'd stand a better chance of getting what we really wanted. Are you listening to this? To what we wanted. The question, my and I can't wait to get back to my therapist. But she asked me things like, "Dion, is that what you really want?" Right? No. But when we had to choose between character and comfort, character building, but the character building was lost in our dust of the chase of what we thought was happiness. Seldom did we look at character building as something desirable in itself, something we like to strive for, whether our instinctual needs were met or not. We never thought of making honesty, tolerance, and true love of man and God the daily basis of living. And that's where I live now. I character build. I don't have any money. I don't have money to spend. So I'm fine with that. I'm not whining. Well, I could use a new pair of shoes. I could actually use a lot of stuff. But if you base me on my shoes, I don't want you around anyway. I don't. If you're going to base me on how I look, sometimes I come on here and I haven't done my hair. I'm in my pajamas all the time. My pajamas. I call them drumming pants. That's not true. Tuesdays and Thursdays I do, but not this Thursday because I'm like, okay. Anyway, this lack of anchorage Okay. We need that. Do you hear this? Lack of anchorage to any permanent value. So this means I need to be tied to something with a set of decent morals. Yeah, God, group of drunks, they have a good set of morals. Okay. The AA traditions, great set of morals. A lot of people with a great set of morals out there. So we need to anchor ourselves to them. Okay. These are the people that go around and do things for people and don't say anything about it. Right? Yes, it is. All the way through. Yes, it is. And all of it, not just part of it. Hey, God, because here's the thing. How is God going to be able to work with who you are if he doesn't have all of it? Okay? That's like me saying, can you make spaghetti? But I'm not going to let you use any sauce. You can't, right? And what is true humility? True humility is doing something for somebody else and them never knowing about it or anybody else. So let's say you donate anonymously to a place. That is true humility. That is true humility. Where we do something without credit, without saying, yeah, I did that. So what? It needed to be done. Doing the dishes, taking out the trash, cleaning up after yourselves. This is humility. Sure is. All right. So we have to have that anchorage or this blindness to the true purpose of our lives produced another battery result. For just as so long that as we are convinced that we could live life exclusively by our individual strength and intelligence, for just that long was a working faith in a higher power impossible. And it was impossible because I'm playing God. You cannot believe in God and play God at the same time. Okay? Just like an alcoholic in their cups will not understand what we were saying yet. We've got to dry them out. Yeah. Good on you, Michelle. Good on you. Yeah. I think we all need, you know what? I think we all need to work on it. I could always have more humility. I really could. So, I mean, I really do try. So anyway, this was true even when we believed that God existed. We could actually have an earnest religious beliefs which remained barren because we were still trying to play God ourselves. There it is. As long as we place self-reliance first, a genuine reliance upon a higher power was out of the question. The basic ingredient of all humility, a desire to seek and do God's will, was missing. And Patricia told us. Okay? Patricia gave us the answer on that one. Okay? If I get a green light, thank you, God. If God makes me stop at a red light, thank you, God. Even if I'm in a rush. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't need to know. I just know that God's doing something for me. Even when it's bad. Thank you, God. For us, the process of gaining a new perspective was unbelievably painful. That's what I was talking about earlier when I said, I know it sucks. It is painful. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to put it plainly. It fucking hurts to the core. I'm going to tell you something. It's okay. It's all right, man. You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I promise you, you will come out the other side a different person. You may not even recognize yourself. It was only by repeated humiliations that we were forced to learn something about humility. What were those humiliations? DUIs, waking up covered in your own urine. How's that for humiliation? We did a lot, and we didn't just humiliate ourselves, we humiliated our family. Maybe we did or something. Maybe we acted inappropriate at a wedding. If it was an open bar, Dion was going to cause chaos. Let's just put it that way. Right? Love it, Michelle. You're a roll. Thank you, God. Well, this was God. God gave me the topic. What's cool is that I'm open to God's topics. There's sometimes I get a topic, I don't want to talk on it, but I do it. Hey, Daryl. I'm writing that. I've been thinking, because that is a really hard fucking question, dude. All right. Daryl and I are talking about becoming sponsor and sponsee, and I think this is great. He wants me to write him an email, letting him know my expectations of a sponsor, and I think it's a great idea, and it's a very tough question for me, and I've had to think on it, but I'm almost there. All right, I just didn't want you to think that I had forgotten, because I haven't had a sponsor in a while. And I'm feeling that obligation. I'm feeling that accountability. And I fucking love it. It feels great. It feels great. All right. It was only at the end of a long road marked by successive defeats and humiliations and the final crushing of our self-sufficiency that we began to feel humility as something more than a condition of groveling despair. Foxhole prayers. Humility? Nope. God, please get me out of jail. You know what his answer was? No. His answer was no. You want to know why? Because I had to be responsible for my actions. That's why. So, every newcomer in Alcoholics Anonymous is told and soon realized for himself that this humble admission of powerlessness over alcohol is his first step toward liberation from its paralyzing grip. I know you don't. I know you don't, Chase. It's just what I was saying is I haven't felt that accountable in a while, and it feels nice to feel it again. So, just knowing that step. So it's already starting to work. This is a hard process for me. So thank you, God. Here we are again. So it is that we first see humility as a necessity. But this is the barest beginning to get completely away from our aversion to the idea of being humble, to gain a vision of humility as an avenue of true freedom of the human spirit. To be willing to work for humility as something desired for itself takes most of us a long, long time. Yay. Good, because I'm still working on it. A whole lifetime geared to self-centeredness cannot be set in reverse all at once. Rebellion dogs are every step at first. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. There are certain words we don't like conforming. People have a hard time with the first tradition because it's about conformity, but it's actually unity. Okay. So anyway, just some of the things that come up. When we have finally admitted without reservation that we are powerless over alcohol, we are apt to breathe a great sigh of relief saying, well, thank God that's over. I'll never have to go through that again. Then we learn, often to our consternation, that this is only the first milestone on the new road we are walking. Still goaded by sheer necessity, we reluctantly come to grips with those serious character flaws that we made problem drinkers out of us in the first place. Flaws which must be dealt with to prevent a retreat to alcoholism once again. We want to be rid of some of these defects, but in some instances, this will appear to be an impossible job from which we recoil, as we cling with the passionate persistence to others which are just as disturbing to our equilibrium, because we still enjoy them too much. What was I talking about earlier? Drama. It's drama, my friends. Okay? I tell you, it happens to me. I see drama in AA. My first thought is, what's going on? It's my first thought. My next thought is, what's going on is none of your fucking business, Dion. Okay? There was a song in the 90s. It was called OPP. And it went like this. Are you down with OPP? You know me. Right? Stands for other people's problems. Right? When the cops pull up at the neighbor's yard, you peek it out your window. Drama. I watch a lot of drama shows. I keep my drama with my mama. That's to say, keep the drama on the TV. Okay? I would deliberately create drama just so I had it going on. How can we possibly summon the resolution and the willingness to get rid of such overwhelming compulsions and desires? I'm going to tell you why, because I don't like them anymore. I don't like those. They are not a part of my moral setting. But again, we are driven on by the inescapable conclusion which we draw from a experience that we must surely try with a will or else fall by the wayside. At this stage of our progress, we are under heavy pressure and coercion to do the right thing. We are obliged to choose between the pains of trying and certain penalties of failing to do so. These initial steps along the road are taken grudgingly, yet we do take them. We may still have no very high opinion of humility as a desire of personal virtue, but we do recognize it as a necessary aid to our survival. And just like bringing God into your life, that's all you really need. We can start small. Okay? So let's start with the alcohol. I'm going to go ahead and just go to the last. Yeah. And I would say, why are you picking on me? I needed to be the center of attention, and then I would resent that attention. Thank you, Daryl. So I'm going to go to the last couple paragraphs because I'm already at 33 minutes. I didn't even know that I've been talking for half an hour. I apologize. The chief activator of our defects has been self-centered fear. Primary fear that we would lose something we already possessed or would fail to get something we demanded. Living upon a basis of unsatisfied demands, we're in a state of continual disturbance and frustration. Therefore, no peace was to be had unless we could find a means of reducing these demands. The difference between a demand and a simple request is plain to anyone. Okay. That paragraph is why when I do step 6 and 7, I bring out this book and we talk about emotional sobriety. Okay. It's in this book. Okay. Don't sign up for emotional sobriety classes. You don't need to. You can read it for free. It's a PDF. I'm tired of people saying, oh, like it's some new fad. Okay. It was written in 1958. It's not new information. We've had emotional sobriety for 50 years. Okay. So anyway, it's in here. It's called The Next Frontier Emotional Sobriety. And it is fantastic. The 7th step is where we make the change in our attitude, which permits us, with humility as our guide, to move out from ourselves towards others and towards God. Perfection. Yeah, perfection. I'm not going to be perfect. I know that. But I am going to move towards it. Yeah. That's character building. Moving towards God's likeness is character building for me. The whole emphasis of step 7 is on humility. It is really saying to us that we ought to be willing to try humility in seeking the removal of our other shortcomings, just as we did when we admitted we were powerless over alcohol and came to believe in a power greater than ourselves could restore sustainability. If that degree of humility could enable us to find the grace by which such a deadly obsession could be banished, then there must be hope of the same result respecting any other problems we could possibly have. So the biggest difference between your character defects and the alcoholism is the effect that it is having on your life. And sometimes we need to find out that those character defects are the things that were fucking up my life. It wasn't the alcohol. What the alcohol did is it released those character defects. Alcohol would make me inhibited. In other words, I would do stupid shit. I would say things that were just stupid, off bar, didn't exist. You know, we're gonna do this and then we're gonna wrap up. I was an egotist with an inferiority complex. Yeah. We're a set of extremists. I either think I'm the shit or I think I'm a piece of shit. Well, I can't just be in the middle there and be part of the herd, you know? So Billy Joel wrote a whole song about it. It's called Why Do I Go to Extremes? He's been sober for a long, long time. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me for like almost 40 minutes. I appreciate that. So we can call this a meeting. I love you all. Love you all. Peace out and have a day. Bye-bye.